What's going on, Wastelanders? Draco Invictus here with a mod review and a modder spotlight. Tonight we are looking at the mods created by the mod author Ethreon, and I will put a link to his Nexus mods page, and I will also be putting a link to the Bethesda.net pages for the mods that we're going to be taking a look at. He has 3 out right now for the Xbox One. And we're going to be looking at Gravel Walls, the Settlement Supplies Expansion, or SSEX. I don't know why I have to stutter when I say it, but that is what it is. And the last one is, of course, Port Royal. We are here at the Spectacle Island because I needed some room. So let's get to taking a look at these mods. The first one we're going to take a look at is the Gravel Walls. And as you can see here, they are 2 high, 4 wide, and 1 deep, and I've set them up in a couple different configurations. They stack on top of each other, they snap on ends, they snap at 90-degree angles. There are all different kinds of things that you can do with these. They take up 20 concrete per each one, but concrete is very plentiful ever since we got the Wasteland Workshop DLC, and it is also very cheap. Over here, I put them in a slightly different configuration. I rug glitched in this junk wall. This junk wall here actually sits right on top of that. It doesn't snap or anything like that, but you can literally just place it right up there. And I did the same thing with this one here, and then kind of glitched some of these in. They do not rug glitch. They do not have a point. They don't have a sweet spot, as I call them, but they are very forgiving. You can see here I was able to place this whole row slightly inset into that one, so they will overlap. I put another piece here so that that leg looks supported. I also want to mention that other than what came on Spectacle Island, everything that you will be seeing is either from the vanilla game with DLCs, of course, or it is from one of the 3 mods that we'll be taking a look at. Now that we've taken a look at the gravel walls, they're very simple, but we will easily be able to do multi-story walls, glitch in other walls and other things to make them look scrappy, and I feel very, very sad for at least one YouTuber who spent a significant amount of time making junk walls, but hey, when he gets this for PS4, he'll be able to add these into his walls and they'll look even scrappier. So let's move on to the Settlement Supplies Expansion, and there is so much stuff in that one mod, I cannot cover it all. There are hundreds of items from different rock formations. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think there's one underneath there for 5. There's a bunch of different cinder blocks. Now, of course, all of these things are assets from the vanilla game, but they are very, very well organized, and it must take a tremendous amount of time to pull all this together, especially as new assets get released with updates and patches and DLCs and all that stuff. So you can see we have everything from rusted out vans to personnel carriers, and we have a scaffolding, for the gunners and the raiders, and more rocks. Matter of fact, there are some rock formations that we cannot use as console players. Not yet, anyway. They are just too damn big. It's literally like a mountain. I mean, it's one mod, or it's one object, and it's fucking huge, and there's about 20 of them. So it's unfortunate that we can't use them right now because, well, we can't fly to place them. But you know what? I'm glad that they're there. We also have there's a few different vertibirds in different wing formations and stuff like that. A bus that looks like it was ripped in half by 2 behemoths fighting over a candy cane or something. I don't know. God, imagine what that was that ripped that in half. Because it's not I don't know, shit. There's several different bus stops. So hey, as we're rebuilding the Commonwealth, we can start up a bus line. you know, with different bus stops and stuff like that. Of course, we got motorcycles, and these are a really beautiful set of metal stairs, and of course they all snap to floors and stuff like that, and I just kind of placed them there just so you can see them. We have nice shiny pre-war cars, we have post-war junkers, we got new pickups, old tanks, more cars, this big ass tree, that big ass tree, that big ass tree, all those little saplings, some medium trees over there. There are literally hundreds of items, this big old rock here, hundreds of items in the settlement supplies expansion. So it is definitely it takes a lot of time to get through it. I mean, it took me a few hours, or well, a couple hours, I'll say, to get all of this set up, going through the long list, going, okay, what do I want to place? What don't I want to place? So now let's move on to, and a bunch of different cinder blocks. These are all individual cinder blocks that I just stacked up there. So we find, I didn't see any sandbags. I need to ask him about sandbags. Yeah, I'll talk to him about that. He actually showed up in my my live stream last night as a fluke. We were gonna kind of dig through Port Royal and the settlement supplies expansion last night on my live stream, just kind of messing around, and he just showed up and started talking to us. And it was really, that's like what, that's the third or fourth mod author that has showed up while I was live streaming, and I had their mod loaded and ready to go. It was weird, but great conversation, great guy, and it talked about a lot about his mods, a lot about the modding community in general, and so yeah, it was a really cool conversation. And so I told him that I was actually doing this video tonight, so he was kind of stoked about that. So we have moved on to Port Royal, and it is all about being dockside, being waterside, which is why I did this at Spectacle Island. All of these floor pieces are individual. They snap like every other floor piece does. And matter of fact, this whole section here, all of that there, is one piece. Like all the dock part, not the mooring post and the cable winch and all that stuff. But just the dock part is all one piece. So you could snap several of these together if you had the room and make a really cool dock system. Because you have the support piers, you have this support pier, and this floor snaps right onto that. It's just, it all works really well together. And if you didn't want this mooring post here, again, it's its own asset. You could move it wherever you wanted to. And the same with the winch and the extra spindle here. So let's go take a look at some more cool stuff. Now, here's one of the problems when dealing with water. Bethesda says we can't build on it. And so boats have to be sitting on something like land, or maybe a piece of floor that's, like maybe a shack foundation pier or something underwater that would actually, that the item would be sitting on. As it so happens, I just kind of, stuck this boat here, and this barrel bridge. This piece here was the first one I put down. It's 2 barrels long. So I put that down, and it's sitting on the ground right there. So then I was able to snap this one in, and then snap all the rest of them to it. And then there's a shorter barrels over here, and they snap at 90-degree angles. It's really good. And you can get in the boats too. No big deal. You can walk around on them and stuff like that. And then we have this cool boathouse here. Again, this snaps right onto that, so it's no big deal. But still very nice. And if you've played Far Harbor, you will recognize this as the Mirelurk vat. We're all eating crab tonight, let me tell you. I was going to put like an angler statue here around the corner, so as I spun around the corner, it would scare you, but no. No. Never mind. And as you can see here, I just snapped a few of the vanilla floors right onto the edge of this, so you can see that it does work well with what we already have in the game. moving on here. Got a nice boat here. Again, this is an angled ramp. I didn't twist that one over there. Well, I guess we already walked up one. But, and this kind of free floats, and I just got it real close to the boat there. There's also a few display cases with like boats in a bottle. I think there's 5 or 6 of them. So those would be cool in, you know, your house or something like that. Before we move over to all of this over here, I wanted to talk about this little, like, captain's cabin. Hello, bridge. There we go. Captain's bridge. This piece is by itself, and I just kind of shoved it into the ground. That's why the sand is there. Sand is in there. Now, this is a mast flagpole. It was a regular mast in the game, and he made it into an awesome flagpole. Every flag in the game is that comes with this mod. It waves in the wind, and there's 2 different snap points. There's one up at the top for the regular flag, and then there's the lower snap point for these banners. These are all museum banners, and there's several of them to choose from. And I just thought that they look really cool. I'm probably going to put them in every settlement I have. Okay, moving on. The barge. This barge is modular. Each one of these metal plates is a piece of the barge. So you could make this barge 4 wide and, you know, 10 long if you really, really wanted to. The crane snaps right onto the deck. I went and placed a whale skeleton here. Just so that I could show the whale skeleton, because it's really awesome. It doesn't like to be on hilly terrain or anything like that, so I put it on the barge because I knew it would be nice and flat. This captain's bridge is just sitting on here, and I went with the elevated one because, well, it's a barge. You know, you should have an elevated bridge. And there it is again. I just wanted to place it out there so that you guys could see that it was an independent piece. And we also have, there's several wooden boats, and this thing is just beautiful. Again, I kind of had to stick it on the dirt so that that I could actually place it. That is going to do it for the gravel bridge, the settlement supplies expansion, and Port Royal made by the mod author Ethreon. Again, I will put a link to his Nexus mods and a link to the Bethesda site for all 3 of these mods down in the description below. Hey, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that. I've got new videos coming out all the time. I'm taking a serious look at mods now, and I'm also doing build videos with mods, and I'm also doing build videos without mods. This weekend, I'm going to be doing a mod review during survival mode, taking a look at several, or at least a couple, of the mods that interested me for the survival mode. So we'll be taking a look at that. And make sure to stick around for more great content. And until next time, Wastelanders, take care of yourselves. This is Draco Invictus saying, see ya.